Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. Zepcast here, bringing you some more COD Ireland action, and we have fantastic games ahead for you today. COD Ireland in the playoff stage, well underway, and all of these teams are itching to get going tonight. So really cannot wait to get this one started. We'll have this game with you on your screens, map number 1 within the next 10 minutes. Absolutely assure you of that. Really cannot wait to get this one started, folks. We're starting off game number 1. Going to be none other. I'm just going to turn the music down just a little bit more, just in case. Game number 1. Going to be Faceless Esports taking on Infinity FPS, 2 top tier rosters, but of course only one going to be able to come away with the win today. And then after that, we will be moving swiftly on to game number 2, where the loser of this game will be taking on Insufficient Funds in the losers bracket. But after that, folks, it's not all. We have a lot to bring you today. We'll be back to the other side of this winners round to see Flux Esports face off against Billy is Funding, now taken over by Only the Greatest. So it's OTG Billy is Funding, but they will be just called Only the Greatest going into season 2, which they have already signed up for, and you can also sign up for as well. Make sure to check out our Twitter. Season 2 signups are live, and the date's been pushed back to the end of January for the sign up closing. So we'll begin in the first or second week of February. So you have plenty of time to get in, but I recommend you do get in as soon as possible if you want to take part in season 2. And folks, that's not all. After that game, the Flux Esports Ability is Funding game, the loser of that game will be going on to play Avenge Mango's Meaty Boys in the losers bracket on the other side. So we are covering so much of Division 1 tonight and absolutely cannot wait to get started. And then tomorrow night, as far as I'm aware, and you think I would be more aware considering it's a league that I've built and run, but it kind of just shows my ineptitude at times. But that's great. I have a fantastic admin team to be able to help keep on top of all of those things. Tomorrow we should hopefully be able to bring you some games. The way that the Division 2 was worked out, you know, again, you're trying to do scheduled streams. A lot of players, they have commitments, whether it be the jobs, life, family, and getting people into scheduled streams, especially in lower divs where, you know, COD doesn't encompass their entire life, unlike some Shadows. It's sometimes difficult to get games scheduled. So I think a couple of games may be happening off stream. We're still trying to sort out what's happening, so it's up in the air. We were hoping to originally bring you something similar to this, but for Division 2, kind of an equal length, the equal amount of games at the same point in their playoff bracket. But that may be delayed ever so slightly. We may have less games. A couple of games may not be on stream, but we'll be picking back up on the Sunday, continuing with Division 2, and they'll hopefully be all caught up by then. Then on Monday, we round off, for the most part, Division 1. And then on Tuesday, we will have the grand final of Division 2 and Division 1, one after the other. So I cannot wait to bring that for you guys. It should be so much fun. Cannot wait to get into it. Take a shot every time I say I cannot wait for something. You'd be on the floor already. But I digress, folks. I hope we're all doing well. Thank you very much for all coming and checking out the stream. Seen a couple of you bringing some hype along with Mark. Appreciate you for coming in here, Mark, as well. It was an absolute pleasure casting with you before, and I hope to do so again. Also, I was able to put my name down for challengers this weekend, and whatever the dates were. I've mixed them up. There's that many dates as of late, but I'm here. So I've got the commitment to my baby, which is COD Ireland, and folks, what a fantastic baby it is. I love this baby. It's a great baby. COD Ireland, it's had its ups and downs this season. That is for sure. It's been a learning process myself. It's been a learning process for the team, the admin team, everyone involved. It's had its ups, it's had its downs, but so far I'm very happy with how it's gone and really cannot wait to get season 2 underway. We've learned a lot from how we've done this season, especially with the playoffs. I know people have had issues with the playoffs. We've learned. We're going to try and do them better next season, and we're going to consistently look to improve, and there's no way we'll be able to do that without the support, advice, input, insight from you guys. So we really do appreciate that. And folks, I know you couldn't give a toss about me kind of talk to you about COD Ireland. You want to see the big game that is ahead, and a big game it absolutely is, as I'm seeing more follows coming in as well. Native's just come in with the follow as well. Appreciate you for the follow. Just to let you all aware, in case you're wondering, that you're talking about things awful late. Let's get something out of the way very, very early on. I don't put it in the chat anymore. Back when I started costing, I'm constantly costing if you ask my COD teammates. But when it comes to casting, when it's the title, I usually used to put in 60-second delay. I don't put that in anymore, but we are still operating on a 60-second delay to God, what's the wording I always use? Completely gone out of my head. To protect the competitive integrity. I remembered it. To protect the competitive integrity of the games, we have a 60-second delay. So if I'm responding to things a little late, that's why. I don't hate you. I promise. I love each and every one of you, except you. You know who you are. For shame. Where's the music gone? Why is my music stopped? I put on a whole playlist just for that to happen. Get back. Oh, there we go. Still waiting for the COD Ireland trick shotting team. You know, we need to bring the COD Ireland trick shotting team back. You know, I say back like it was over here, but we need to bring trick shotting back. That's how FaZe started. We should start like that. Who is ready for the MLG montages? COD Ireland sniper trick shots. That has to be next to the agenda. I think you're on the money with that one. So it was a good time. Why can't I read that? Thank you very much. It was a good time alongside yourself. Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday for the Challengers Elite and the availability sheet. Yeah, that's when it was. That's when I couldn't do it because I was inundated with COD Ireland stuff. Believe me, you know, folks, turns out running a league a little bit more tedious and tiresome than anticipated. Well, I knew it would be, but then a lot of people would anticipate. You very quickly begin to see why everyone doesn't do it. It's a tough job. And Sean in subscribing with Prime, thank you very much as well. Got a couple of you that have come in and subscribed to Prime. Really do appreciate that. Everything goes towards COD Ireland, to growing the league, to be able to boost prize pools, to be able to boost tournaments, and to be able to help fund things such as LANs, which talks of LANs are well underway, as I've said before and I'll say again. Can't give any more details yet. Probably won't be able to give much detail for a little while yet, but assuring you the talks are still ongoing and they're going well. And ladies and gentlemen, I actually have been digressing a bit too much and we're probably going to end up running a little bit late onto the game. So I'm going to start speeding through some of what we got prepped here for you guys, because I know you guys are here for the game. You want to see the stats, you want to see the build up. So we're going to facilitate that right now, folks. And God, I hope I updated this graphic right. Again, it's been a blur the last couple of days, so forgive me if I haven't. But let's take a look at the head-to-head, how these teams have performed comparatively to each other throughout the course of the group stage of the league this season. So, folks, here you have the glorious, the fantastical head-to-head where you can see that Faceless Esports have had 7 wins, 2 losses, 23 maps won, only 4 maps lost, an 85% win ratio on the maps, and with 21 points. And folks, do remember as well, in case the numbers may not exactly be evening out in your head completely right, the way that we do this as well is that if teams were unable to make games throughout the season, again, we had a tight window coming up to Christmas, it was the first season. If teams weren't able to make games and they couldn't get games done in time to make sure that neither team was benefiting off potentially not playing games, they were getting the loss for that game. So even though it may say teams have lost, they didn't necessarily lose a game. It's just a loss in the fact that they didn't actually get that game played throughout the season. Again, just to ensure that teams aren't abusing the stats ever so slightly, which, you know, teams here normally wouldn't anyway, but we just put that failsafe in. And then on the other side, you have Infinity FPS, 6-3, 20 maps won, 7 lost, a 74% win ratio, and on 18 points. A team that has also been doing very, very well as well. We had a bit of a slow start in terms of actually getting the games played, which I believe, if I remember correctly, has contributed to some of their losses. So if you were to actually tally up games that these teams have lost, it is very few, borderline none. These are some top-level teams within COD Ireland that are about to face off against each other, folks. I assure you of that. So you're absolutely not going to want to miss it. And, well, you're not going to miss it. You're here, so thank you. I'm seeing people come into the chat as well. More follows coming in. 50 bits being put in by Dream Rolls. Appreciate you. Stuart in here as well. How's it going, Stuart? Hope you're going well, doing well. And any more information on the LAN? No information that we're going to give for now. I don't want to keep... I could give more stuff, like droplets, but until I know that something is going to happen concretely, I don't want to be feeding in too much to something for it then not to happen and give people's hopes up, right? We're in talks, they're going well, we're being very well received so far by the community, the esports community within Ireland, and we're trying to make something work, but again, just talks are ongoing. A lot of things can change between now and then, so all I can really say is positive talks. That, you know, to not give anyone's hopes up beyond that is positive talks. And make sure I'm not missing anything else in this chat as well. I don't think I am. Evening, it's Flux Boy, biggest fan, love to see it. I've seen Flux take part in COD Ireland again at 9:30 tonight, playing against Billy is Funding, that are now part of OTG. Should be an absolutely immaculate game to say the least. So folks, we've seen the head-to-head. We know who's playing tonight. So make sure I have this graphic done. I actually do. I have it done. Perfect. So without further ado, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be loading into this game within the next 5 minutes. So I want to take you through if I can. Let me just actually load up COD first so I can get into the observer, because I already put the lobby code in and I'm late. I'm late because I keep yapping. Who knew it, folks? Casters yap. But let me show you the maps and modes that we're going to be playing in tonight's first series of the evening. Beginning with none other than a Protocol hardpoint. Protocol hardpoint. Sorry, folks. Muting my mic there for a second because I had to cough. Can't shake this flu fully yet, but my God, I'm trying my best. Protocol hardpoint should be an absolutely immaculate game, to say the least. Protocol benefiting the ARs up high, lines of sight where you can do so much damage, but of course, you go down that spiral into the underground. That is where submachine guns can get in and do a lot of damage as well, and get around behind the ARs and sort of really disrupt the flow, disrupt the rhythm, which teams will need to do against each other in the first game of the evening. And then going on to map number 2, a shock map on the card, which is a red card search and destroy. My God, you do not see that one too much, but be really interested to see how this one plays. I haven't even actually had the opportunity to cast or much red card search and destroy, so it is going to be a pleasure to see how this one works out. And honestly, I have no idea how these teams are going to play by this point. It's a big shake-up from Protocol, but variety is what we like to see in the map pool that has been selected for this game. Variety is certainly in there, so it should be a really exciting affair. Map number 2, you will not want to miss it. And then loading into map number 3, we will be going to Vault. And Vault Control is sort of one of those ones that you see crop up a lot. It's a map that's not avoidable, right? Everyone's going to want to play a cheeky little bit of Vault, and can you blame them? It's a map that's definitely an all-rounder, and I think Vault Control, Vault Hardpoint, I've said it a million times, I'll say it again, they play very similarly to each other in terms of the skills and qualities that you bring to the map, how they shine within the particular mode. I think they ring true on both sides, so it's kind of a safe map to pick. Everyone needs to be good at a Vault. And then if we go to map number 4, we start to get introduced to the new map. I love it. I love that this map is back. I mean, it would have been cool to see Rewind stay in, but I gotta say, I do prefer Hacienda. So if we get to map number 4, Hacienda is on the cards for a cheeky little bit of hardpoint, and it'll be a lot of fun to see this map in action with teams of this caliber. So you know what? Just watching these teams, I'll be able to learn a little bit more of how to actually play this map in ranked, because so far, still a little bit clueless, but I'm trying to learn. And then, ladies and gentlemen, map number 5, if we go that far, you guessed it, we're back on Hacienda for Search and Destroy. You've just seen the map reel. You know what it's like. I'm not going to bore it with you again, because we need to get loaded into this game. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Division 1 playoffs, Faceless Esports versus Infinity FPS. Those are your maps and modes for this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to get myself muted up, and we are going to get into the lobby and make sure that we are ready to go. You will not want to miss this one. Faceless Esports, Infinity FPS, two massive teams about to face up against each other now. Don't go anywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we'll be ready to get underway in just a moment. All players are in, just waiting for one more to get ready. So while we are waiting, I believe I do have this set up. So let me show you guys really quickly what we've got going over here in the playoff bracket so far, the way the teams lie, so you can actually see all the games that will be being played tonight. Of course, we're starting off with winners round 2, Faceless Esports versus Infinity FPS, which you can see up top, and then after this game, we'll be moving down to the losers round 3. We'll be seeing the loser of this face off against Insufficient Funds. And then after that, coming into around half 9, we'll be going back up top to see Billy is Funding take on Flux Esports. And then seeing the loser of that at around half 10 go up against Avenged Mango's Meaty Boys down at the losers round 3. We've had some shock exits so far, sometimes due to players not being available, sometimes to actually legitimate losses. So, you know, it's an unfortunate way that playoffs run sometimes. You know, you only get that one shot, that one opportunity once you get this far, and that pressure can sometimes get to people. So a couple of shock exits, I'm sure, to some people, but still a lot of really strong teams left in. And ladies and gentlemen, as I say that, we are just about ready to get map number 1 underway, where we will be going, as said, into a protocol hardpoint. Absolutely cannot wait to get this one underway. So best of luck to both of these teams as we load in. And again, folks, let us know, who do you think is going to come out on top early on? Is it going to be a case of one team being warmer than the other, or are they both ready to give it their all right now and we could see a demolition from that, or something go right until the end? Again, folks, anything could happen. That's the beauty of Call of Duty, and Call of Duty has clearly been a very beautiful thing as of late. I'm sure many people would attest to that, or well, maybe some, if you can find them. Oh, another 100 bits coming in as well. Appreciate you, and apologies for the telemetry on the top of the screen. Gonna leave that there for now until after, but you just can deal with it for now, I'm sure. As we begin map number 1, we're starting on board with Infinity on the side of Infinity FPS, moving straight for this point, seeing how he's going to tackle this one, picking up a nice first blood against Zappy. Trying to hit some more shots there. Cormac picking up one. Infinity very much just getting locked down, but of course Faceless getting the rotation as well, the crucial spawns for P2. So staying away from the point just a little bit off the initial, but ultimately that works in their favor. They get onto the point now. They have a hold, but Matt, I believe, is up top, or the Codcaster could be bugged again, folks, as we see. Yeah, it is. It's Infinity getting the kills. For those of you who don't know, folks, I'm sure you do already, the Codcaster bug, you have number 64 on Cormac. Don't have a 64 key on my keyboard, but that just messes everything up with the Codcaster. If it says Mulbs gets a kill, it's Matt. If it's Matt, it's Infinity, so on and so forth. The Codcaster lies, folks. But now, Cormac sitting on the point, trying to get this time neck and neck so far in this P1, as we round down that point and get ourselves moved over to P2, where Cormac has spawned up pretty perfectly for that. Infinity FPS, they do have the spawns, but it is Faceless on the time with none other than Zappy, but quickly mowed down off the point by Mulbs, who is again just trying to anchor back, hold back, and not overcommitting to begin with. Again, a very clever tactic from these teams, making sure that they're not getting 4 down and sacrificing too much time at one time to the opposition. You can tell that, again, with these teams, they play at a level beyond most of us mere mortals that are sitting at home watching and sitting here in this chair casting. Ludo going to pick up another kill. Cormac with the nade, or I believe that would have been Mulbs, and then Cormac picking up another. The wave coming in, but it is Powerhouse going huge. 6 and 3 to begin with, a great start. God, the Irish accent really came out quick there with the tree. Powerhouse is the powerhouse for his side so far, making it 8 and 3 on a 4 streak now, and racking up that time to stretch the lead for Faceless ever so slightly as we go to the rotations for the next point. And it's Cruel navigating his way up that spiral, trying to get good timing on the side, and he does to pick up one and goes around the side, has the spot. Is he going to get the kill, though? Not in the most advantageous position, unless he decides to use the heady, and he does, but his teammate backing him up well. Great play there from Cormac to be able to back up his teammate, take out Cruel, and give Infinity FPS a time to move up on this point and gain some crucial time back, which of course is necessary at this point. You don't want to give a team like Faceless Esports too strong a lead too early on. Who would want that? But Cruel with a big 2, make that 3, and all the hard work of Infinity FPS undone. Cruel breaking them down with the 3, getting straight into that point and continuing to rack up this time. Infinity FPS, it has to be said, off the beginning of this, they're going to work really hard for any time they get, whereas Faceless Esports, it feels like at least it's coming a little bit easier. But again, some players haven't quite hit the mark yet. You've had Powerhouse popping off. If he levels out, could you see the playing field change ever so slightly, it is possible. A checkerboard, a kill feed there leaves Powerhouse the last alive, should I say, in the point. Gonna try and get a little bit of help from Zappy. Faceless now have the point. It's a good hold from them in a key position that could see them gain quite a lead. But Mob's coming around the back. Cormac picking up a kill, but now Cruel popping off. He gets taken out. Infinity FPS back on the point, but again, Powerhouse with another huge kill. 11-4, by the way. What a performance from this man early doors. One of the top players in the country, that's for sure. As he's going to get terrific timing against Cormac. Ludo with 2, and Faceless make their way into the point. It's been very back and forth, but it's been Faceless holding the majority of the time, nearly all the time. And that is hurting Infinity FPS so far, as Powerhouse just picking up a different position to try and catch people off guard. Infinity FPS look like they're going to go for the push, go for this scrap. Cormac, or Mulbs, should I say, taking out one. Powerhouse got another kill there before getting taken out, but Mulbs now trying to do a little bit of damage. Throws a stun up top, the nade to follow. 53-100 as we go back to P1. It has to be said, Faceless are in control here at the moment, but only 1 point would switch that. But neither team has been really able to manage a key hold here at the moment. A strong, clean 60 to kind of change the outcome of this game. But one thing that has to be said is we're seeing a lot of 3 downs come in for the side of Faceless Esports. They are just getting that extra kill where it matters to guarantee themselves slightly easier holds. As Cruel picks up 2, Mulbs with the shots not working out, and Faceless going to be now trying to push onto this P1, which has been held well, but Ludo with a strong kill. Ludo, Zappy, and Cruel combining for another 3, and that's going to lead to Faceless getting the rest of this time. And, you know, what was a relatively close game now turned into a situation where Faceless Esports are going to be nearly 100 points up going into this P2, as, you know, we take a little bit of a look at the way that this point is sitting. Faceless going to get onto the point here, and they know where the spawns are. They have the reads. They're going to hold, but Infinity FPS, they do have a chance to get round the back, round the side. Big kills coming in, though, and as the assistance comes in from the steps, you can see that Faceless are going to have a strong hold, have the exact reads on where Infinity is spawning. And as long as they can pick up the kills, it should be a pretty clean hold. Big gunfights coming in here. Cormac with 1, and he's actually managing to stay alive in Hill. It's actually Mulbs, but it was Cruel then who picked that up, and now Infinity trying to get pushed onto the point, but not really even able to maneuver around the spawns or out of the spawns whatsoever. Matt with the push, quickly taken out by Luto. Zappy with 1. Zappy with another. Zappy nearly popping off, but Mulbs doing the damage. And has to be said, Cormac's not had a strong start. The KD wise, a little bit rustier to begin with. There's Faceless across the board, just performing to the best of their ability. Cormac with 1, Powerhouse continuing to try and pop off alongside Zappy, who picks up 1. Powerhouse with more shots, and AR Demon, but the turn on from Matt eventually not leading to much as Luto comes in. The cleanup crew at 1 minute 30 of hill time as well. An immaculate performance from him. Infinity FPS trying their absolute hardest here to pull themselves back into this one, but it just feels like as every little inch Infinity FPS takes, Faceless Esports just take a mile. And they just continue to stretch this lead over 100 points now, rotating onto a key point where, to be fair, Infinity FPS have picked up some key kills. And looks like they're going to be able to get this, but whether it's a clean hold or not is going to be huge. And even a clean hold would leave them still quite far back. And in saying that, it just feels like they almost have a 5th man out there, because instantly just breaking into that point is Cruel holding the angle. Just trying to keep Infinity FPS pinned back here, and doing so, it has to be said, almost with relative ease. And, you know, it's scary for the rest of the teams in this division. Infinity FPS are no slouches, but they're being humbled at the moment, it seems, by the performance of Faceless. But that's a big 3 for Infinity. They're able to hold the scrap. be just under the 100-point mark. And look, you gotta say it's a case of where the comeback's gonna be impossible in this map, but it's putting your best foot going forward, trying to pull that KD back, trying to get the momentum swinging so you can take it into map number 2 and just kind of give yourself a little bit more of a chance for things to start going your way. As Ludo diving around the side, making full use of that Omni movement. Gonna try and pick up this kill, but it is Cormac who picks it up. Matt with another. And Cormac really not fancying this protocol at the moment, and Mad RW unfortunately not that far behind him. Infinity and Mulbs have pulled up decent numbers. Excuse me, God, a hiccup nearly coming in there, but it has to be said. Infinity FPS, they have their moments, but it's not coming together consistently as a team in this series as of yet, whereas Faceless, it's just all systems go, working like clockwork as they do. And then on top of that, you do have Cruel, who's nearly a minute in hill and on 33 kills as well. Great performance from him. Doing the work for his side. Ludo at 1, checkerboard kill feed once again. It's Mulbs, actually, with that 2. And Infinity FPS now holding P2 once again. Have the opportunity for a clean hold, but Zappy and Cruel coming in with big kills. And now Cruel gonna get round the side here. Will he get unfortunate timing, though? He absolutely will. Which does gift Infinity a kill. But a big 3-piece there from Faceless Esports. Leaving Matt on his own in the hill. Credit to him, he picks up 1. Recognizing that he has to play his life in this situation now. Doing a good job. His team is able to back him up well. And he makes the right moves there on the hill at a crucial moment. Cormac and Matt. Or Mulbs and Matt. I don't know. I've completely lost faith in this codcaster now in the way that it works, folks. We just take our guesses. But Infinity FPS have worked the last 2 points really well. Unfortunately for them, they have to play a virtually perfect hard point from here to get anything from it. But they've definitely made that scoreline far more respectable as they rotate now onto P3. And if they could chain this point with being able to lock down that key P4, then you could see this game won on a neck and neck. But as I said, it would need to be perfection from here. But perfection seems to be on the agenda as they pick up 2. Cruel getting taken out. It's now up to Ludo to try and do some damage. And Ludo, in with a huge kill, needed to get 2. Not going to happen. Infinity FPS continue with this defend. And you take a look at the map now. It is Faceless Esports who have to orchestrate another push. And Powerhouse going to go around the side. Mulbs with a double Semtex. How did I miss that? Huge 2 from Mulbs. Cormac taking out Mulbs taking out Powerhouse. Now, Faceless, they're going to surely rotate just onto the next point from here, as Infinity FPS also recognizing that they kind of have to pinch into this next point. Faceless now cannot win it off the scrap, so definitely risking it all on this P4, which is such a hard point to break. It'll be Infinity FPS's hardest task yet. They were on the precipice of being 100 point clubbed. Now it's 202 to 238, but Faceless Esports have rotated for a key point, and they're picking up kills. They've got 2 already, but 1 kill coming in for Cormac. They have to push now. Crew with 1, Ludo with 2, and ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be all she wrote. 202 to 250. A game that ended up being way closer than it had any right to be. But alas, it is Faceless Esports who come away with the victory on that one. And you wonder if it's a case of did they take their foot off the gas pedal, or did Infinity FPS step up another gear? I'm sure Infinity FPS could be asking those questions, but it won't matter that much to Faceless. They got the win. That's what matters to them. And as you can see here, folks, Protocol Hardpoint going the way of Faceless Esports. What a game one, it has to be said, ladies and gentlemen. So massive shout out to both of these teams putting on a strong performance, and Irish Mayhem in with the follow as well. Appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. To everyone who is watching this stream, massively appreciate you being here. If you want to support COD Ireland, please do consider following, not just here, but we also have all our social media at COD Ireland and YouTube as well, where you could find these games after the fact where they go live. We would love to do a big push on the YouTube channel, so COD Ireland on YouTube if you want to check us out there as well. But please do make sure to stay here, and if you also want to support us, help fund us so that we can bring you more leagues, more tournaments, and potentially a LAN in 2025, maybe even multiple LANs, then the support is always appreciated. You can subscribe, If you can, even do it for free. If you have a Prime subscription, you can link that up and subscribe. So please do consider doing that. If you can't, absolutely fine. I won't hold it against you. I'll cry, but only a little bit. But appreciate you for being here nonetheless. And folks, we do love private matches in Call of Duty at the moment, because now I have to boot up the game again because the game now crashes every single time after a private match. So you're left in a situation where you just kind of got to sit and go, okay, this is going to take a little longer than originally intended, but we are going to get map number 2 underway very, very quickly. And I have to say, I was in that game and I was thinking, all right, is this going to be a little bit of a day, you know, for Faceless? Are they going to get the swift 3-0? Is it going to be easy? Furthermore, Infinity FPS not at the races, but they pulled that back to the point where I think, okay, if you're to argue the favorites, you have to still argue towards Faceless, right? They're one of the top teams out there, no questions about it. But Infinity FPS, they got that dog in them. They're showing that they have that fight where, you know, they might sneak a search and destroy. They might sneak a control. They swing the momentum their way to where they can make something happen for themselves. It's on the cards. It's absolutely on the cards. Anything is possible in Call of Duty, folks. So definitely could be what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll take you back to the map screen. We're going to get joined in to this lobby once again and get this started. So make sure not to go anywhere. Map number 2 underway in just a couple of moments. ladies and gentlemen. We'll hopefully be getting this game underway in just a couple of moments. We do have people joining up. We are almost ready to go, as it will be map number 2 that we're going into next, to search and destroy, where we are going to be on red card of all maps. Sort of a rarity that you do see that map come up, but I'm excited to see it, and I hope you are as well. Really looking forward to getting into this one and, you know, seeing the rest of this series. The rest of the day, plenty of games lined up, should be absolute crackers. A game that's probably going to start at around 8 o'clock after this one, and then we have a game at 9:30 and a game at 10:30. So plenty of games to bring you here in COD Ireland tonight, so sit back, relax, folks, and get ready to have a whole load of fun with this. I think the teams are all joined in. I can actually make sure that they're all on the right sides. Now, if the codcasts are lined up on the right side, because we definitely would not want that to be the wrong way around. Or I wouldn't even get yelled at my own boss, but I'd yell at myself. I would yell at myself. I'd be very disappointed. I can see y'all popping off in the chat. Challing for 8, Zappy. Really? Really? You'd love to chal for 8s, but just how broken private matches are at the moment. Probably can't even do 8s properly. What can you do? But again, folks, I really do appreciate you all being here and showing your support as well for COD Ireland, for us and for the teams. It's massively appreciated. Do I have everyone on the right side? Time to double check. I don't, but I do now. Good to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do final checks, make sure that we're ready. Everyone's in, virtually ready to go. We'll be with you in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't lying when I said it was just going to be a moment, because now we are on our way to the red card search and destroy. Map number 2 should be a whole lot of fun. And you've Lenny Beats as well saying that we are running this league season 2. The child coming out, letting everyone know what they're all about. We'll see about that when season 2 rolls around. Again, sign-ups, folks, for that have been extended to the 31st of January, so you've time to get in and get ready. What will be the best season of COD Ireland yet, that is for certain. And best of luck to both these teams. Here we go, map number 1, starting on board with Zappy. What do you got up your sleeve? What's the play? Making their way round away. First blood coming in from, I believe that would have been Infinity, trying to get out with his life, it seems, and absolutely doing so. 3v4 now. Infinity getting shot at but playing his life, and then Mulbs picking up one. Another coming in from Infinity. We're missing all these kills on the screen, folks. You can tell why I never went into observing instead of casting. Holy moly. But now Cruel, the last alive, picks up one. It's going to need to get the ace. Wouldn't that be a way to start off round number 1? Hops through the already broken window. Unfortunately, we may have to resort to breaking another if he wants to there. He's going to squeak open this door to not alert Cormac, who's in front of him. He's going to get the spot. He's not going to pick up the kill, though. And going for the chase. Going for the dive. Picking up one, but he needs to get out with his life. And he will. And he's going to turn, but he doesn't pick it up. That was close. That got a little shaky. But Infinity FPS doing enough to come away with a vital round 1 for them. And Mulbs going for the chase. Almost the panic of a stair glitch there, I'm sure. I think he went to lie down and then almost realized, it seemed like, oh god, I'm on the stairs. I need to get up. And he absolutely didn't. He wasn't fully stair glitched anyway before everyone starts poking their nose at it. I know stair glitching when I see it. That was not it. And onwards we go to round number 2. Let's see how Faceless Esports now shape up on the defense. You know, we can take a little look at the map as well and see that we kind of have a split going, a 1-2-1 split for Infinity FPS. And they're playing this pretty passively, whereas Faceless Esports sort of pretty even around the map, playing pretty deep. You do have Zappy moved a little bit up, but into no area of real danger. Matt picking up the first blood, and now Infinity going to try and move up, or I believe, is it Mulbs? It's actually Mulbs who's gotten moved up into a precarious position as Infinity now sort of make their way towards B, which means you are going to have Powerhouse probably in a position to pick up a couple here. He's going to pick up one. He spotted the second, and Ludo's there to pick him up. Ludo there with the third. And just like that, it's all collapsed, all down to Mulbs in a 3v1 scenario. That push not going the way of Faceless. And Mulbs working his way down the stairs. Alerting everyone to his position. They know where he is. They're going to push out for the kill. Mulbs with the desperate dive. Not going their way. And Faceless Esports buy back around. Powerhouse with the chase. Powerhouse with the kill. And could this be the way this game goes, folks? A tit-for-tat affair right till the death? Or will a team begin to pull themselves back? We will see. Round number 3. And if you hear the dogs in the background, folks, I do apologize. People are coming home. And therefore you have dogs who are going absolutely crazy. Powerhouse picking up one, taking out Matt. Huge first blood for Faceless as they're kind of orchestrating a little bit of an aggressive offense here. Matt's going to get absolutely overwhelmed. Ludo picking up that one. Now Powerhouse going to make his way through, kind of watching through the windows. Cruel dancing, ducking and diving around that room. Eventually going to go for the plant. It is now Infinity round the back, trying to get a pick. He doesn't spot the fact that there's 2 players, but he picks them both up regardless. Massive 2. That changes the complexion of this round. Mulbs didn't see him. What FOV is Mulbs playing at? He didn't see the player to his right. We're at 100 FOV. He has no excuses. Unless he's on a PS4. But Faceless Esports come away with that round. He gets taken out by the player he missed in the mid. Maybe he just intentionally left him. Didn't want to bait his position. I don't know. But a huge miss out there. That could be very detrimental to Infinity FPS here. The last thing you want to give a team like Faceless Esports is momentum. They start feeling themselves. Infinity FPS will be feeling that pressure. Appreciate the follows coming in as well, folks. For those of you who may be just joining us, Faceless Esports, 1 map up. Map 1 finishing 250 to 202. Infinity FPS trying to pull themselves back. And so far showing that they can make Faceless bleed, but they'll have a long evening ahead of them as Cruel picking up 2. Surely he's going to get taken out here as the push comes through. Matt with 2. Matt nearly getting the 3. His teammate could be there. It was Cormac. Matt's now in the chase. Another 2v2. And this bomb's going to go down. In Infinity FPS, they looked like they were going to struggle, but then they picked it up. Matt with a huge kill against Luto. Now leaving Zappy the last alive to win a 1v2 and get that defuse. He's going to take some shots, but they aren't going to go his way. And Infinity FPS pull around back themselves, once again evening themselves up. Now at 2-2. Faceless Esports. You would think they won the round because Codcaster said they won the round, but they didn't. Because Codcaster lies. Rule number 1 here in COD Ireland is that Codcaster lies. They might have it fixed in time for Black Ops 7. As we're on board with Zappy. Round number 5. Not a kill to be had yet. Looking to change that, I'm sure. No Zappy donuts to be seen here. He decides to run back for the bomb. Little 360 up in the air. Look at him go. Look at the spins. He has an air of grace the way he waddles around that map. Infinity with the first blood. Or it would have been Mulbs. Again, Codcaster lies. Damn it, Zep. Get your head screwed on right. And by Zep, I mean the real Zep me. I don't, Zepcast. I don't mean that fake Zep COD that you see lurking around Twitter and perhaps in our chat right now as Mulbs. Scurrying up top, looking to pick up 1. Doesn't get the kill, but meanwhile Matt picks up 1, leaving a 2v4 scenario. And it has to be said, Faceless are indeed struggling with this map. Zappy and Luto, the last alive, make that just Zappy as there's a trade comes in. Zappy with the 1v3, gets a kill on the board. I'm going to need to win a 1v2 now, and he does have the benefit of having the bomb. Did Cormac see him jump down there? I believe he might have. It's hard to tell. But with only 15 seconds left, he has to commit to a bomb site. And Zappy on the move. He's going aggressive. And he just gets caught in the worst position you want to be caught in a submachine gun AR fight. And the final kill coming in here. And of course, Codcast are not going to show us the name. Not wanting to give credit where credit is due. Shame on them. Onwards we go. Round number 6. On board now. Still with Zappy. 1 and 4. Going to try and make himself 2 and 4 here. Doing so successfully. Now making this a 3v3 scenario. And Luto picking up 1. Infinity FPS now on the back foot with Faceless Esports. Look to once again tie this one up. It's been 2 for 2 on almost every round so far. Powerhouse picking up 1. Cormac the last alive. Gonna get the spot up top. Waiting for his moment. And he's still waiting for his moment as Faceless Esports come away with that round, evening things up once again. And we hypothesize that indeed it could have been a tit-for-tat affair. And so far, seemingly, that is going to be the case. These teams both figuring out how to answer back against each other, it seems, in this map in Search and Destroy. They learn off each other well. They see what one side wants to do in a moment. They take that in their stride, deal with it the next time round. But someone has got to give. Someone's going to break in this map. Will it be even back up, or will Faceless take a 2-0 lead? Over halfway through the Search and Destroy, anything could happen. Cruel, who's going to push first? Game of Chicken. Cruel catches Matt unawares, or Cormac, I believe. Just the wrong timing, if for the perspective of Cormac. But Infinity evening it up, but Ludo coming in with the trade, making sure to have his teammates back now. 3 for 2. Make that 2 for 2. Make that 2 for 1. Checkerboard a kill feed. Even Powerhouse and Zappy alive. Infinity going to need to do all the work for his side. Infinity now. He knows where 1 is, and he's just getting that information, and he knows the bomb's gone down at B. Having vital info to work with here, but not having the shots. Faceless taking another round, taking the lead once again. And if trends continue the way they have been, it will be Infinity FPS taking the next round to even it back up. So kind of in a vital swing round at the moment where Faceless, they take this map, or they take this round, they go 5-3 up and things look daunting. And the map count as well, for those of you who have just joined. I see that in the chat, probably going to be answered before you hear me, given the minute delay, but Faceless Esports up 1-0 in this series right now. Looking to make that 2-0 here. Or at least you'd like to think they are. Be shocked if they weren't. Be very nonchalant, competing for cash. Matt hopping over the railing, finding himself in a little bit of danger here. Not the position you want to be in with that submachine gun, but maybe he'll prove me wrong. But Mulb's picking up 1. Mulb's gonna pick up the next. Or I believe maybe it was Infinity. I don't know. The game lies, and I'm losing full. But 2-3, Zappy and Luto. And Zappy, I think he heard me say that he hadn't picked up any kills and is more than making up for it here at the moment. On a 4 streak, 2v2. Bomb has gone down A. Huge defend coming in here for Infinity FPS, and Zappy has spotted his prey. As he chases him down, he recognizes, well, he is the last alive, and he's going to pick up 1v1. Cormac versus Zappy. Massive swing round. Cormac, he's already hurt. Zappy, going to go in the chase. Lying down, though. Just waiting. Cormac's biding his time. Probably can play the time now, recognizing that's on the cards. He's just going to wait. He's played his life well. Zappy's going to go for the chase, but Cormac's going to get the kill. And Infinity FPS by themselves, a round back, evening it up. Once again, the trend does indeed continue. A huge kill coming in there, running down that clock well. Not being overzealous in the peeking, making Zappy come to him. And 4 apiece as we enter round number 9. Is a round 11 on the cards here for our first game tonight? Will this one go all the way? We're once again back with Cruel, who similarly to last time, playing the same position. You take a look at that map. Infinity FPS, very angled towards A. Are they going to perhaps overextend, or are they going to hold? A hold looks very much on the cards. Meanwhile, Zappy getting moved up towards this B site. He's got the spot. And he's got the shots. 7 and 5 now from what I believe was a 0 and 4 position. A great turnaround from him. He's going to try and get pushed through this door. He's weak, but that doesn't matter. He's going to pick it up regardless. And will he pick up the next? He doesn't. It's Matt with 2, but the trade coming in. Ludo picking it up. Now 2v1. Powerhouse Ludo versus Mulbs. Massive moment here. Bomb down B. I don't think he was spotted. He looked like it nearly was spotted, but I think he's gotten away. He still hasn't been spotted. Now he has. Sure. Or has he? It doesn't look like he has. He's somehow gotten good timing, but can't make the most of it. Just not happening for him. There's Faceless take a huge round to go for that map point. A huge kill coming in there. Massive moment. That round very much having the potential to influence the swing of things. And Faceless now just need one successful defend to go 2-0 up in this series. Infinity FPS, now or never, need to chain 2 rounds in a row to avoid having to rely on the reverse sweep of the series. 6 for everyone in Infinity FPS. Who's going to be able to get a few more trades coming in instantly. 3 for 3. Powerhouse taking out Infinity. Infinity being taken out. Cormac with shots. It's aggressive, but they're not getting overzealous either. It's aggro, then pulled back. Not sacrificing their lives. And you do have Zappy, who's taken up a very awkward position here. And if they were baiting to then swing around for the A, Zappy could be the one here to capitalize on this point. But he gets a little bit of unfortunate timing. He's going to be caught in a position. He's stunned. But he does rotate out onto the car, to be fair, but it's Matt there with the kill. That's huge. 2v3, now moving up towards this A site. Meanwhile, you do also have, I believe it's Mulbs, who's pushed right round the back, which is going to be huge. Ludo, Cruel, very condensed together, but Cruel going to go for the check of the bomb. He gets taken out. Now a 3v1, Ludo the last alive. And around 11, very much on the cards. He's looking around, trying to get the picks. Infinity FPS have rotated back again. They've proven before they can play time well. You run down this clock. And if you're Ludo, you have virtually no chance at this point to get 3 kills, add a defuse. Gonna at least maybe try get a couple of picks from this. But knowing the defuse is not on the cards. And ladies and gentlemen, map number 2 of the first game of the night will go to a round 11. Picking up big kill. A huge round for Infinity FPS. When the pressure was on, they answered. But they'll need to answer one more time. Cormac had a huge round there on a 3 streak. An RCXD to work with, if he so chooses. Will it come into play? It very much will. And angling towards B as well. A good place to use it. We're on board. instantly taken out, holding the right angle for it. He's gotten the info, but it would have been predictable info at that. He didn't get much from it, and he has been spotted as well on this cross, but does he know he's been spotted is the big question. And he's got that bomb up in a precarious position as well. Ludo staying alive. Zappy, huge first blood, 4v3, pre-fire in the door as well, just to make sure. You have Powerhouse overextended on that A. Cruel picking up another, and now the kills coming in. All of a sudden, 4v1, Infinity left on his own to try and do the impossible. Locked in at B, and ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be that for this map. Faceless Esports coming away with that one, 6-5. Round 11 victory. And a convincing round 11 victory at that. They predicted the B play. They were ready for the rotation around. They got their first blood and they just boxed their opposition in. Huge round for them. And ladies and gentlemen, 2-0 now in this series. Faceless Esports just one round away from continuing into the winners. I want to say semi-final or final. I should probably double check that. I believe it's the winners semi-final. You would think I'd know, wouldn't you? But let me actually double check that on my end. Apologies, folks, for the unprofessionality. Do you know what? I could show you in the bracket. Let me check in the bracket. Yes, it's the winners final. One map away from the winners final. Infinity FPS one map away from having to move to the losers bracket. I think it's fair to say, folks, things are heating up here. As Infinity FPS going through something where, you know, it looked like that protocol hardpoint was gone from them and they pulled it back. Then they really kept up with it in that search and destroy and it was just taken away from them. They're a team that doesn't seemingly so far be able to do it for the entirety of a map. But when they do it, when they switch to that next gear, they have the takings of their opposition. It's purely just how long they can actually hold on to that momentum, to that rhythm that they get themselves into. And I think that's where you have to give so much credit to Faceless Esports as well for disrupting the harmony that Infinity FPS get into. As soon as Infinity FPS start to chain something together, get the game going under their belt the way that they wanted to, Faceless do just enough to shift things back into their favor. But one thing is for certain, is that they're not doing it easily. There was a point in that protocol hardpoint where it looked like things were coming easily to Faceless Esports, but that's quickly changed here. And on a vault controlled, given the way that the series has played out, you'd be worried, I think, if you're a fan of Infinity FPS. But if they can get through this, if they can do it, they move on to a hacienda. A double hacienda if they can get that far, where truly anything is possible. So, folks, this series, far from over. Probably the toughest challenge now for Infinity FPS. And again, remember, folks, the loser of this one will actually be staying on broadcast because we will be following them to the losers round where they will be going up against Insufficient Funds. That game will hopefully be coming your way at 8 p.m. So in about 40 minutes time. Depending on how this goes, that game could potentially run a little late because we have to prep the graphics for that. We'll be able to bring you the wonderful quality that you see here in front of your eyes on the stream. But we do hope to get that one on the way as quickly as we can. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to want to go anywhere. That's an order, folks. I'm telling you right now, stay here. Don't go. This series is getting incredibly interesting. And I've said it before, folks. I'll say it again. Thank you all very much for coming along. And I'm really appreciating the follows that are coming through as well. Over 50 of you currently watching this immaculate series. And with so many great games left to go in the evening, we have just a fantastic night of COD Ireland ahead. So I'm really happy you're here. Really glad you're watching. And honestly, just hope you're enjoying. really do hope you're enjoying and seeing what these teams can bring to the table. I mean, these are really, really top teams that you're seeing here. I'm seeing Cormac in the chat about to take back Ireland here with this reverse sweep. I mean, talking a big talk, walk the big walk, and we'll be able to cover that all live here on stream, folks. I'm hyped. And again, remember, I don't know why I'm saying this, because if you're not here, you're not going to hear this. But if you can't watch all of this, it'll be on YouTube. You'll be able to see the games on YouTube. Go to our COD Ireland YouTube channel where you'll see all of these games over there. We cut them up, put them on there because the quality over there of the games in terms of how it actually comes out just looks a little bit better than it does on Twitch, and it actually stays there instead of deleting itself after a month. Thanks again, Twitch. We love you for that. But we're looking to get into this game. People are getting ready in the lobbies, I think, by the looks of it, unless I'm mistaken. So we're going to take you back over to this screen. We're going to get joined up on my end, and we're going to get ready to get things going. Don't go anywhere, folks. Map number 3, Vault Control, on its way, and it'll be with you in just a couple of moments. Ladies and gentlemen, onwards we go to map number 3, where we are on a vault control. Gonna be a tough one. for the side of Infinity FPS. But they could be in the starting point of engineering a reverse sweep. But arguably the hardest map to do so in. We're going to start on board with Cruel. As they find themselves on the offensive side here, Faceless. How will it go for them? So far, Cruel picking up one, instantly getting traded out, though. Cormac, or Infinity, would have been with a huge 2, getting around the side. And so far, a strong defend from Infinity FPS. How high could they get pushed up? You do also have Luto, who's gotten around the back and is being a nuisance. And a checkerboard, a kill feed here. It's Powerhouse. With the AR in hand, trying to make its way around towards this A. Big kill coming in there from Mulbs. Cormac on the point. Matt with 1. And the kills becoming a little bit more erratic all over. But Faceless not being able to get anywhere near this point at the moment, which is so far good for Infinity. Cormac with a huge kill. Or would have been Infinity, I believe. Zappy Powerhouse, though, picking up a couple. Trying to go for this B, but to no real avail. It is Cruel, the last alive. And actually getting a couple of kills now where he can get on this point. Maybe get a tick, but is being swarmed. So he's going to back out. Now maybe panic stations here as 25 seconds to get a point captured. But they are sat on this A. Doing a good job now stretching the opposition, which is what you need to do at this point. But just not fully happening here for Faceless, as they only have 1 tick at A. Things are becoming a little scary for them here. Infinity with a great chance here. But Powerhouse with a huge 2. Crew at 1. That's a 3 down. This could be massive. Ludo at 1. The capturing of A going to happen here. 14v14. That was a massive 3. Arguably has saved this round, as it should be a cap of A now. Infinity maybe going to try and get the peak. Not happening. The point is captured. 13v13 now. A minute left. Lives very much could be a factor at this stage, especially with Cormac or Infinity getting those 2. Cormac and Infinity sitting down low. Zappy at 1. Matt at 1. Checkerboard a kill feed once again. Cruel getting pushed up. He's just holding. Not gonna be overzealous with this 9v10. The lives will matter, and the time is going to matter here at this stage as well, as it's now 8v8 with just 35 seconds left. Again, with ticks being a massive factor, you want to at least be able to get a tick over onto that B, or else you might find yourself in just a teeny little bit of trouble. But 8v7, 25 seconds left. Faceless gonna have to go huge. Zappy with 1, but Mul's been able to pick up 1. Infinity in a strong position. Powerhouse as well. Powerhouse is in a great position to get a couple of kills when they come up, so this could be huge. But now recognizing he has to move, because Infinity FPS just picked up a nice wave of kills. He gets taken out from the bottom. 3v5, 6 seconds left. Make that 2v5, make that 2v3. This is interesting, but now 1v3 might be a little bit too much for Zappy, as he gets taken out, and Infinity FPS managed to take round number 1. Now, I could be mistaken here. I might have miscounted. I might have missed it. But I'm pretty sure they didn't get the first tick on B. However, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know, chat. Let me know in the chat. Am I wrong? Am I ugly? Am I stupid? I'm sure you can let me know of all of those things. With not just haste, but with enthusiasm. I believe it's 3 ticks to the way of Faceless, as it's now Infinity FPS's turn to go on the offense. Will they have an easier time, or are Faceless the masters of defense? Mastering the D. That's the Faceless agenda. As Cruel getting pushed up onto this point. Infinity FPS went a route, making a play. Will that play off? Can I speak? Probably not. And neither will the play work out, as Faceless clean up 29v27. But you do have Infinity, who's picked up a position, but with that sub-machine gun of all things. And that nade not working. Infinity with the chase going to get taken out. And this strat has not worked from Infinity FPS at all. And it is killing them so far in this round. 28v22. They are pretty pinned back. Especially if Powerhouse is able to start picking up some kills. And he is. Ludo with 2, Powerhouse with 1. The spawn trap's going to be in here. 27 versus 19. I get why you go to try something on this map, but if you find yourself in the spawn trap, then you are in deep, deep trouble. As Zappy picks up another. Faceless are making this one look easy here. But now the push out happening. They're on the A point. 24 versus 18. Finally getting out of the spawn trap, but again, just leaving themselves in a place where they have to play it perfect from here on in. Will they be able to do so? Zappy picks up 1. He's going to have to try and hit the other door, and he gets caught picking up a gun, which is a big kill for Infinity. That's a tick and a half gone a day, but they have to stick it because they need to get this point capped. They're running out of time. Big wave of kills, and that's 3 for the side of Faceless. Matt getting 1. Or it would have been Mulbs who got that one. 7 or 11 and 7 actually. Who's had a pretty decent game. Huge 2. Got to get another point now. They're on A. 9 seconds left. Ludo. Gonna try and get in. Try and do a little bit of damage. He doesn't pick up that kill, but Powerhouse picks up 1 on the outer. 2 ticks now at A. Continuing to be capped. 16v12. Mulbs chasing down the point. He gets 1. And then Cormac with 1. God, this Codcaster. They don't have A yet. Huge wave of kills. Cormac had picked up a couple, or Infinity FPS had picked up a couple, and he got the A point capped. 12v9. They may not take this round, but the ticks could be huge. I believe it's 3 apiece. And around that left Infinity FPS on the precipice of a defeat. Now all of a sudden, ticks-wise at least, all evened up. So playing for that round 5 potentially to get that defensive side. Ludo at 1. Gets instantly traded out by Matt, who hops on the point. 9v4. Can they sneak a tick? It's looking very unlikely. 9v3 now. You have Powerhouse set up on the opposite side. Going to be able to just box in the opposition here. Ludo going in for the kill. Cruel and Powerhouse at 1. Just like that. 9v1. Just like that. Faceless Esports wipe out their opposition. And even this one back up again. 1 round apiece. And I believe 3 ticks apiece. As you see the play of the round coming from Ludo, who just got pushed up here. And the beginning of that round, Infinity FPS making a play that just didn't work out the way they wanted to. And that just left Faceless get a clean wave of kills. And then from there, the way that the spawns work in this map, they can just be so predictable to the point that it's hard to get that spawn trap going. But if you get such a clean wave of kills, you can get moved up and you can do a lot of damage to those lives before the trap is broken, which Faceless did. And you have to give credit to Infinity FPS for managing to get out of it when they did. Because if they ended that round with no ticks, they were looking at a 3-0 in this series, that's for sure. So they have rescued this one, but they have a long way left to go. Tit for tat, 29 versus 29 now, a kill apiece. As Faceless decide to make their way towards B. They have a triple stack on. This is huge as they pick up a B tick that no one's managed to pick up yet, and they continue to pick up these kills. This setup is perfection, and Infinity FPS are scrambling. 29 versus 24, 2 ticks gone already at B. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, it's contested, but a team nade. It's a complete collapse from Infinity with 28 to 22, B point captured. Faceless looking like they're going to be able to win this offensive round as they have stepped up a gear. Mulbs with 1. Checkerboard a kill feed once again, but 24 versus 28. Starting to work on this A point. B point already captured. Infinity FPS have to keep this A point completely clear for the rest of this game, but they are down on lives, and time is not going to be in their favor. A massive round for Faceless as Zappy picks up 2, Ludo picks up 1, that's a 3, Cruel the last up. And Zappy has such a powerful position here. Zappy has been key this round for his side, as he's eventually taken out by Mulbs. And Infinity, they're doing a good job of defending this A, stopping that tick coming through, but they're losing a lot of lives in doing so. 20v11 with a minute 30 left. They are going to get decimated on lives if they can't change it up. Mulbs picking up 1. Mulbs is trying to get around. He doesn't have much ammo left, so he's going to pull out the pistol, and Ludo capitalizes on a pistol situation there. And just like that, 18v9, 1 tick gone at A, so that is 4 ticks. hardly ticks will matter at this point with the offensive round on the cards as Powerhouse picks up one, not getting the second. 16v7, 16v6. Faceless recognizing they can just do it on lives now, it seems. But they are on the point. Powerhouse with another. 16 and 15. Zappy 23 and 19. 18 and 17 from Cruel. And then 23 and 16 from Luto. 13 to 5. Mulbs getting around the side. Powerhouse taking him out. 11v4. That 10v3 this round has been huge for the side of Faceless. This round could be what wins it for Faceless, as they're just 3 kills away from taking an offensive round. Maybe going to try and play for the ticks. (9v1). Matt trying to do something. It's not going to happen. 5 ticks down on that round, and they end up as Faceless take the offensive round. And could that be that for this series? Infinity FPS would have to do unbelievable things to engineer the reverse sweep here. Things that I think unfortunately at this point just may not be possible. Onwards we go. Round number 4. Potentially the last round of this series. Unless Infinity FPS can take an offensive round of their own and take it by getting all the ticks instead of just 5 of them. Given the way that the series has gone, that's seemingly a near impossible feat, but they will try. Cormac getting pushed up towards B. Cruel instantly wiping him out. Cormac getting the nade kill on the car. Managing to pick up another. It was Infinity that done that. 28v28 now. Getting pushed up onto this B point. Trophy going down. Infinity recognizing as a team that this B point could be huge for them to get the capture. And Zappy and Powerhouse combining for 2 apiece to kill that play stone dead. And now 27 versus 23. With only a minute left to go already, Infinity FPS are scrambling around to try and push up that P2 spawn, but Faceless have the reads. Powerhouse and Zappy, it's been their round as Powerhouse continues to pop off, picking up a 3 there to go on a 5 streak. 28 and 21 around from him, and now Cruel with 2, and the kills are just coming in bunches of 2, it seems, for Faceless as they have this spawn trap on lock and key. 25 to 14, the lives are being decimated. Only a minute into this round it seems, and well over half the lives gone already as Zappy continues to pop off on a 6 streak of his own. Powerhouse on a 9, 27 and 17. Faceless truly have just stepped it up a whole nother gear, a whole nother level from this point. As now 22 to 9, 12 seconds left on the clock. Infinity FPS desperately trying to get something on this A, but it may be too little too late. It is too little too late. As when it's said and done, when the dust clears, it looks like it'll be Faceless making their way to the winners final of Division 1 of the COD Ireland League, whereas Infinity FPS are going to have to fight it down in the dregs of the loser side. As this one finishes, Faceless Esports 3, Infinity FPS 1. What a series. What a map. Faceless truly stepping up another level there to take this one 3-1. And as I said, the series 3-0. And you have to give them a massive amount of credit for being able to do so. So ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Massive congratulations to Faceless, who